I'm on. I put on. Honestly, don't know what to call this yet, but I'm just not figuring this out. I'm Justin. I don't know if y'all know who I am, but I've been on TikTok for 3 years now, and it's been quite a ride. It's been very interesting. And I've met a cool creators. I've met people who have millions of followers. I've met people that have none, and they're still cool people regardless. But anyways, I wanted to talk about this movie I just saw, House Party. Very interesting film. I'm about to bring one of my homies on, and we're gonna get into it, man. Like, it's very controversial considering LeBron is behind the project, and we also have some interesting faces in the film and some cool appearances. But definitely, let's get into it. My boy Justin Avatar Tack, or Justin Avatar Jack, is about to come on. I don't know if y'all know me, but I'm Justin. Let's add him on. Dude, I might add you on as a co-host, dog. Hold up. Hold up for a second, dog. If you're on live, you should be able to send me like a co-host type of thing, man. I'll try and get you on. It should work. Just give me some time. Hold up, man. I was just watching a comedy special right now. Damn, Dave, how do you co-host? I don't see you in the suggested host. Yeah, I don't see. Send the invite to me. Hold up. You're supposed to get on, but yeah, man. Starting with the House Party review. If I had to be honest about it, man. If I had to really be honest about it. If you like Space Jam, it's comparable to that. I know that movie was terrible. I can feel it. Here's the thing, man. I think it's going to be very mixed. Some people are either going to really hate it. Some people are only going to really like it. For me, I wasn't obsessed with this movie. I wasn't really intrigued by it either. It was kind of flat. And the reason why it was kind of flat is it didn't have, those same electric performances that the original one had. We had Kid and Play in the original films, and they carried. They literally carried. Like the whole project was essentially a Kid and Play movie. This, you put some different actors in there, you kind of interchange some things, and it kind of it's dull. It's dull. It's not really the same. You can't do that. You cannot make a movie without your lead protagonist. And I think what I compare it to is like making an Indiana Jones film without actually having Indiana Jones, so Harrison Ford. So like doing that, what you're doing is you're just not even making a movie like that to begin with. It's nothing like the original. Hold up, man. That's so weird, man. Why won't it let me add you on as a co-host? Oh, I think you got to have a certain amount. My boy, what up?
Can you hear me, bro? Can you see me?
Yeah,
Hold on.
dude, I can hear
I
you,
can
but I
see you.
can't see you. I think I have to. Do I have to like let you go in the
Can you see me
go
now?
in the? There we go. What up,
Okay.
my boy?
All right.
That's what's up, man. How you been, man?
I've been good, man. Just living life. Going to the movies.
I
Trying to
feel you.
trying to get back into the TikTok game. I took a break for a little bit, but
Good.
trying to hop back on. You know what I'm saying? You
You
know,
got to do it sometimes, man. You really
yeah,
do.
yeah. I started a whole job and everything, man. So I was just trying to get acclimated to that, and I was busy. Things were pulling my attention, so I'm on now. So.
Nice, man. Nice. But I was gonna ask you, man, did you get a chance to see House Party, bro?
No, man, I was gonna go this weekend to see it, but
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to go last night. I was trying to, but I was, man, just too tired. But knowing like the legacy of House Party, I'm just really hoping that you've seen it already, so you can
Yeah.
kind of bridge the gap. I'm just hoping it comes with that same um energy, that chaotic celebrity energy that the first one had, and it just had a lot going on. It was a good, it's
I
a
don't want to
classic.
upset you. I don't want to upset you, dog. But when I saw it, I couldn't help but realize that like you can't do House Party without Kid and Play. That's kind of what I realized, man. I wanted this movie to be good because LeBron was producing it and had all these celebrities and everything in it. It just didn't pan out, and it wasn't nearly as good as the OG one. So I did come in with these expectations, but even regardless of that, it didn't deliver for me. It just didn't hit the same, man. It didn't hit the same. You got two lead actors who aren't really entertainers. They're not really like big names or anything, and it didn't hit the same. That's all I gotta say. It just didn't hit the same.
Yeah,
It's like a LeBron passion project, kind of like Space Jam. Space Jam was about LeBron. This
right.
movie was about LeBron, so it's weird, man.
You
You can't
know,
do that.
uh, and I was when I saw the trailers, I saw Jacob Lattimore and then the other guy. I think the other guy's like a relative unknown. And I saw Jacob Lattimore, was like, okay, um, you know, I I don't know if he's going to be able to bring that type of energy. They don't have the young guys don't have the hype around them that Kid and Play did back in the day. They don't share
Yeah,
that same social
exactly.
ash. So it's kind of like, looking at it from the outside and not, actually seeing it, it's like, okay, this seems like a bit of a money grab.
It
And
is.
why LeBron, well, knowing that he's a producer now, you can kind of see like, oh yeah, I guess that's why, his involvement and it's his house. But, I'm all for, athletes branching out and trying different careers,
Of
patching their name
course, man.
and stuff, but at least have it, be good. And I love that he tried to, have, discovering new black talent. I love that. I love that for LeBron. But it could have been like, have Bel Air level talent. Like Bel Air, when you think about the young actors in there, like they're doing their thing. And
Yeah,
if this Get in Play is how I think it is, and you're telling me, and you're confirming it, uh, you
they're
know,
not even Kid and Play. Like they're I forget their names. Their names were very forgettable, but they're like grown ass men. They're not even kids. So like it's a movie that really was supposed to be about a younger generation, but like they weren't really from. I mean, they're young people, but like the original House Party was they were kids, right?
right,
They were kids, so like that was like a really big part of it. Like they were young people coming up. They were high school kids trying to start a party and everything. They tried to meet up with a girl and stuff like that.
right.
This movie dealt with none of that. It was two grown ass men, two grown ass broke ass men who had no money. So let's start a house party at LeBron's house and ruin his house. Now we gotta pay more money after that and this and that. And they're really not that great friends now that I think about it. Like after watching it, I was like, bruh, these are the worst friends I've ever seen on screen. Like these are the worst duo you could have. So it
Right.
the chemistry, as far as the chemistry is good. It's just like the characters were written to be pieces of shit. They were pieces of shit, man, which is
You feel
crazy.
so strongly about this. I
I'm
have.
serious. I'm being serious, man. And I think I don't know, man. I think it's just like you took all the heart out of it, man. You took
Uh,
all like the culture, the youth and everything and just you copy paste from the original and just gave
right.
us something that was kind of generic. And that's why
Yeah.
it fell it's gonna fall flat for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for everyone. That's
Right.
just me.
the first movie was so unique and so creative and so like groundbreaking.
Yes.
Like you think of the first film and it you know it launched Tachina Arnold and Tisha
Yep.
Campbell. You know, like you had these names that continue to progress and become big names in black entertainment.
Martin Lawrence. That was Martin Lawrence's second movie. So
Right,
like that started his career, like you said.
exactly. And like you see like trying to recreate that is trying to capture lightning in a bottle, and you can't do it with lazy writing and a bunch of celeb castings. You have to approach it, but the premise is awfully simple. So I mean, but still, they could have added things that would have made it more nuanced and
Of course.
add
Of
more.
course. And I think, man, like this movie should have never been made.
Right? Yeah.
Like it, and that's the problem, man. They tried to get some of the best writers in television. You have Stephen Glover, who's Donald Glover's brother. You have the other guy that wrote for Atlanta. So you have that. You have a decent director that's directed mostly music videos, who understands music and culture and everything. You put that together, and you make it. You make a movie that looks. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sound went out. Okay, yeah. For some reason, the sound. I don't know what happened. But two things that don't necessarily work. And yeah, man. I think it's like this isn't a project that shouldn't have been made in the first place. And I know LeBron. He was the one that kind of spearheaded the whole thing. Like he was like, "Oh, I want to make this project, bring it to the next generation," and that's cool. But you got to do something new. And I think when you're an athlete, you don't understand like the movie business. So like you just because you're a wealthy billionaire athlete, it doesn't mean that you're gonna have an understanding of film and writing and everything like that. That's something that um someone in the industry would have to have most of the experience behind. So like LeBron, I feel like he should kind of just let the directors do what they do, let them write this stuff how they want. When you're a producer, just give them the money because that's what you're there. You're there to finance the film
Right.
and just let them cook. Let them cook, man. Like let them do their thing, and that you'll see a difference once the movies like actually start to come out. Like I think The Rock kind of does that as well. Like
Yeah.
The Rock, he'll produce it, he'll star in it as well, which is what LeBron is doing too. But he'll also try and make the movie about him, and he'll tweak it and change it, and that's why the movies fail. Like I feel like you just gotta let artists be artists, man. And that's kind of what the House Party movie failed at, in my opinion.
This is
It's
my
just kind of dull.
this is my thing. I feel like LeBron really loved this film when he was younger, and
Exactly.
that he really loved and
Exactly.
always wanted to be in. But he's not exactly an actor, and it doesn't have to do with the basketball. So he wants
Exactly.
to get involved with as much with the creation and kind of plant himself in it. And then I feel like he might have been too much into it that the executives and let's be for real. If LeBron says, "Hey, I'm going to throw you X amount of dollars," and people think, "Oh, LeBron," he is so all these fans like, but people at the end of the day want to see a good movie. They don't want to feel ripped off. They don't want to feel cheated if it's garbage trash. And Space Jam, it was all right, but
Yeah.
things are just lightning in a bottle type of films that don't need a re-up. You know what I'm saying? Like we could
I'm
have got
saying.
House Party. Most people in this generation don't even know what House Party is or haven't even seen it, or maybe have seen it
Exactly.
on BET on a Sunday talking to me. You know, it, bring a like if LeBron really wants to do things that are creative, he can definitely do that by empowering more black artists, more black directors
Exactly.
to push
Like people that are in the industry, let them do what they do best. Like
right.
if you want to make a movie um based off of House Party, just go ahead and get the best in the game and let them do what they're supposed to do. Like I don't know like what LeBron wants as far as like a project and everything, but I feel like when you put your money into something, you want it to be great. And if you don't understand what you want, Like I feel like you just gotta, again, like you gotta understand the artistry behind the business, man. Like no one wants to make bad movies. No one wants to see that. No one wants to do that. Like it's unfortunate, but it happens. Movies come out and they get bad reviews. And I think this movie, House Party, is very similar to Space Jam in a sense that it's mostly nostalgia based. And that was kind of one of the problems that I have with this movie. Like a lot of the things that happened in the 1990 version of House Party, this one just basically copy pasted and did the same exact thing. So it's like you had Martin Lawrence's character. In this one, you have DC who kind of plays like the same archetype type of trope that
Yeah.
Martin was. So
Maybe
it's like
they reboot. Maybe they're like, we're gonna reboot House Party.
exactly.
Maybe that was his line of thinking. I would have loved them to do it like the Best Man series, have them
Dude,
follow
that was great.
Kid
Oh,
and Play.
you know what's crazy, bro? The fact that how you doing, Nigel? How you doing, Nigel? I appreciate that, man. But the fact that they made a movie into a series, that's genius. That's really smart. You gave us 7 hours, damn near 7 hours of some of our favorite characters in the past. And we get to retrace, all the relationships and what they've done in that time. So I really like the concept of turning, your favorite show or your favorite movie into a show. Like that's cool. I like that. And I want to see other projects like that too. I think The Wood, you remember The Wood?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're turning that into a series. They're turning that into a series.
Yeah, it gives the characters a chance to really breathe and gives the writers more time to really explore and dig into these characters in a different way you couldn't do in a movie. You're not subject to like that 2 hour
Cut.
45 time constraint,
Exactly.
and they can really, and if the characters have enough buzz around them, you can really play with that, and you can really cement it and its legacy. Like I love that Best Man had a movie, then they had another movie, and then this
Exactly.
series that really kind of just rounded it out, made it so much better.
Absolutely, man. And what's crazy is I was gonna say that I completely forgot what I was gonna say. What's crazy is like I I never even thought that they'd even make another one. Like no one expected like the Best Man to come back after like what, it was 10 years because
Yep.
the other movie came out in like 2015, 13,
Yep.
something like that. But 10 years later, number one streaming or streaming on Peacock TV, it's the number one project, which
Yep.
is wild. So like that means they're doing something right. They got the formula correct. They can continue if they want to. If they want to do season 2 or whatever, they can do that. But yeah, man, it seems like theaters, like movies, and like series are becoming a lot more common,
Mm-hmm.
and they're becoming a lot more important for actors' careers. So like,
Yeah.
if you don't have a series and you're an up and coming actor, you're really not shit. Like that, like that's
Yeah.
just, unless you're in a big box office movie, like we're talking like I don't know, like Spider-Man or something like that. Because like
Yeah.
all the other movies that are in theaters, they're not doing that great. They may be critically acclaimed, but they're not doing Marvel numbers. But if you have a series on TV, everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
Like everyone's talking about that stuff. Like the best shows, man, like they're trending on Twitter every week. They're
Right.
trending all the time. Like even if you look at Pedro Pascal with the Mandalorian,
Mm-hmm.
like bro, that's a show that would trend every single week. Like when it came out, everyone was talking about it. People
Now,
who didn't even watch it made me start watching Star Wars again.
right.
Like, because I really wasn't that much of a Star Wars fan, but
Mm-hmm.
like it got me into it. Like the series format, I feel like it really works for certain like actors. I don't know.
Yeah. But here's another reason why The Best Man worked. That series worked because all of the actors pretty much went and did other things and grew their own fan bases. So when they
Yup,
back to this property, they have so many more friends. Tay Diggs did
yup.
All
All
American
American.
and other things.
Yup.
Terrence Howard did Empire. He's done
Yup.
other movies. Um,
Regina Hall. Nia
oh,
Long.
Neil Long. They all went and did network television. Morris Chestnut, he did a show on, Fox, one of those networks, and they brought
Yeah.
with them, and that's why. And you have fans of the original series, but then you have Nia Long fans, people who only watch stuff for Sanaa Lathan. Sanaa Lathan had that big movie on Netflix, the hair
That's right.
the thing, where she shaved her head and found a man and did all that stuff. But they went and built up they went up and built up their fan bases and came back, and that's why people are watching it. Like, oh, all of these actors are together, and oh, this is a standing story. Oh, this is a good story. Like all these, most of these all of these character arcs, are good. Yeah, but the only one I didn't like was Nia Long's character arc.
I'm done. That's hilarious, bro.
But I
That's
feel like
hilarious.
down to her and Harper, I think her and Harper are gonna, that tension was real, and I just don't see that for anything.
It's a decent show, man. Like the idea, man. I really like the concept of it. Um, that was one of the shows that I watched during the break, and I'm actually going back to school and everything, but I'm gonna continue watching stuff like that. I watched Kaleidoscope. Um,
Yeah,
Kaleidoscope was interesting. I liked just the concept of the show, like the concept you could watch something in a different order, and the whole show would be different, and you see it from another perspective than another person, and I like that. But yeah, I've mostly been watching TV shows. Obviously, I've seen a couple movies. I want to see what's it called? I want to see Plane, bro. Plane. That people are
really.
saying, dude. People are saying Mike Colter and I think it's Russell Crowe who's in it. They're saying that movie is like a '80s like action film, like old school action. Just that's pretty much what it's given us. Like I'm all for that.
It's a
Plus, Luke.
it's a popcorn flick, like
That's what I'm saying.
and all these other ones that they're not like they're gonna they're not gonna spawn these franchises and things like that, but you
Of
love the
course not.
food, and they're highly rewatchable. You'll see them on FX on a Sunday
Yup.
in the future, and you'll just be watching
Yup.
because you remember, hey, Russell Crowe beat that guy's ass, did these different things that you know you just you want to revisit time and time again. It's like the dialogue could be better,
Oh yeah.
but at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what you're gonna get, and people pay for it. People eat it
It's
up.
so simple. It's so simple, bro. Like it's not even there's nothing deep behind it. It's just like two guys. It's like the buddy cop formula. Just put two people together to see if it works. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that, man. Actually, it's Gerard Butler and Mike Colter. That's
Yeah,
who it is. Yeah, Gerard Butler. But people are saying it's freaking badass. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. There's so many movies coming out in 2023, man. Like we're just now getting ready for like a quarter of like these fire ass movies. So I can't wait,
right.
man. But I was gonna tell you, man. I know you're an Avatar guy.
Absolutely.
We're not talking about the blue people. We're
Oh,
talking about the airbenders, man. We're talking about the firebenders, earthbenders, waterbenders. What do you think about Amazon's or it was not Amazon, it's actually Netflix. What do you think about the live action series?
I have high hopes, and I love that they're taking their time with it because this story means a lot to a lot of people.
I know.
We've already had it butchered within the form of a movie,
Yup.
and all the actors are fiercely defending the project. I've
They
seen
are.
they're like, "Look, this is good. This is good stuff. We promise we're not putting out garbage." Which, I mean, if I was an actor on the show, I would tell you it's good. But hey, what's
Me
but
too, bro. Me too.
take their time on these, on these visuals, because that's like a big part of,
Yeah.
like,
You
we have
can't do it. You can't do it without the visuals, man. Like we're dealing with
people are
like
moving
people that can bend fire and water. Like
exactly.
that's and like the visuals have caught up from back in 2010 when that first movie was like released. That was I think it was just a little bit too far in its time. Like they tried to do something that we weren't ready for, And this was like the pre-Avatar era. So like there wasn't like we didn't have like the visuals that we have now. Now you could do anything at a decent budget and it actually be pretty good. So I'm hoping that they invest the money and the time in this and they don't rush it because you can do damn near 5 6 seasons. You could have because the original show was 3 seasons, but it felt like forever. There were like 26 episodes for every season. You
Yeah.
could do 10 episodes for like 5 6 seasons. You could have like the Water Tribe or the Water Era. It could be 1 or 2 seasons, all that stuff, man. And you could just carry on the whole series. You don't
Yeah.
have to rush it. You don't have to condense it. You just take your time and then just kind of wait for it to build up. I think Avatar is the most iconic animated show ever made, in my opinion. Like ever. Like I could watch that show, turn on any episode and remember what would happen. And I
Yeah.
think yeah, it's got a lot of, a legacy tied to it. Like a whole
Yeah.
legacy. And if you mess it up, like a lot of people are gonna be mad. A lot
Yeah.
of people are gonna be mad.
Way, which is like in my mind saying that Netflix wanted a different creative direction and people love it as it is. And if they can justify going in a different creative direction, it better be for the better. But
Oh yeah.
people are very territorial with their nostalgia and with what they love and grown up
I'm
on.
saying.
So I'm just like, hey, if even if it drops, even if it's okay, even if it's good, it's not gonna touch the original. And I'm
Yeah.
really just I want Avatar Studios to come out with something before that Netflix drops. Kind of just for the fact that I don't want the Netflix thing to be the first thing people have seen from them in a while, from that property, from that
Oh
world.
yeah.
So I don't want.
They are doing like the way they explained it, they have multiple animated shows. They have a like a earth bending avatar that they're supposed to be
Yeah,
making a show off of. I'm not sure if it was a like specific avatar that I'm aware of, but like yeah, they have a whole like 5 10 years planned out, bro, which is great.
yeah.
It sounds really good, but I'm really eager to see what they have. Like they actually had an animated show that's supposed to be based on Aang and that like Team Avatar. Like it's Team Avatar, them as adults. So I'm cool with that.
They're doing that
But
as so. I hope they can, because a series would be amazing. I think they just said a movie just because they don't want to linger on Avatar, on Aang, and the gang that long as adults, because that was kind of something they just decided to omit completely during the
oh
original.
yeah.
They just jumped right to Korra, but and then they're doing a Prince Zuko movie. They're doing a Kyoshi movie. They have all these things they can play with, and the world they built, and within the time they put the original story, there's so much. And
Really like the idea that, they progressed in time so fast. Like I would have much rather had them, based in like ancient because it's like ancient Asia, I guess you
yeah,
could say. Like I would have rather had the course show based on that or in that era of time rather than them progressing in society so fast. I think obviously it's logical because over time things change. Like that's called decent writing. That's good writing. But it's just like, what do you do after you just made Korra? Like, because I never really even watched that show. I was just all Avatar season 1 through 3. That was it.
mhm.
But it seems like Korra has like a really big fan base,
Yeah.
and I mean I don't know, but I just feel like it's gonna be futuristic. There's gonna be people, new benders, new types of bending. So like, what do we do next? They're gonna have to top those previous 2 series in the best way possible. So I mean, I'm not really sure what that'll entail.
I think the creators are kind of spinning the block on the idea of what's the purpose of the avatar in this day and age, and how will they, adapt, react, move forward. Because Korra's whole premise, and you haven't seen Korra, but Korra's whole premise is because the world is a little bit more modernized. There's generally peace. What's the point of an avatar? and that is kind of just like she meets other, other challenges that far surpass what Aang was dealing with. Aang dealt with the war. Korra dealt with uh, Korra dealt with a fascist, a guy who wanted to erase all of bending, and she dealt with different things. So I think this new Avatar will be exploring kind of what their role is in modern society, and now that the spirit portals are open, how does that interaction go with technology? Because technology was moving that way anyway. Because when they dropped us in the original Avatar, they had tanks, they had
Yeah,
warships, they had all these things. So it was natural.
trains and like they actually had like steamboats or
Yeah.
something. I forget.
So they were moving that way with terms of technology, but just seeing where, Avatar, will it be more like a figurehead? Will they actually be fighting? Because, Avatar just need to fight somebody, something. They need to bend. So who knows? But yeah, I'm excited to see what the creators can pull off.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you pretty much nailed it. You nailed it, man. Like that's pretty much it. But it's kind of funny how like when we talk about Avatar, like I always think of like obviously I think Avatar the Last Airbender, but like most people now are thinking Avatar like the blue people, like Avatar James Cameron. And I think that's mostly I don't know, it's just recently the shows have been coming out and it's popular, the movies have been coming out and it's very popular. So I
Right.
mean I'm not really sure. Have you seen Avatar, the recent one?
Yeah, I've seen it twice. So the first one I saw as a kid in 3D, was obsessed, and I've seen it a million times, have it on DVD. And then the second one I felt was, built on that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's the
no,
same.
nothing transformational. You're not gonna go and be like, I've been transformed. But I feel like, James Cameron has stuff in the tank that he'll unload within the next iteration. I feel like this one was like, we'll give people more of the same and see if they still have an appetite. And clearly people do, because it made $1 billion+.
Oh dude, they're milking that thing. They're
Yeah.
milking.
Then he'll go and like shift the narrative on people, and then it'll do the same thing it did the first time. People are going to be shocked and awed. So
Yeah, I got to think about that, man. Like, I wonder what like because it seems like they're really trying to do like this one was like the water tribe, right? The first one was like the air, not air, but like yeah, kind of like air tribe. But like the one after this one is like a fire tribe. So like, come on, bro, you're ripping shit off, man.
right,
Like
the
it's like blatant at this point.
exactly, the evil fire people. They were like, he said we're going to explore the bad Navi, which that kind of makes no sense to me because not a whole group of people. But then maybe he's thinking, oh, like the cannibalistic tribes. Maybe that's what he's like basing it off of. Like the cannibalistic tribes or something, and they're just aggressive or something like that.
I'm done, man.
I don't know where he's going with it. I hope it's
Me neither.
good, but you know, the Navi, from looking at it from a sky person, the Navi are people, for the most part have been peaceful people, and you're coming on their planet. I don't think there's anything James Cameron can do to say, hey, these people aren't that good. We've already championed us to their side for 2 movies in 15 plus years. So I
Exactly.
I don't know how he's gonna try to turn it on its head, but
Yeah,
he's
like we know who the villain is. Like it's pretty clear.
right. I feel like he's gonna try to flip it up and that type of thing.
Yeah. But dude, did you know the movie's already at 1 billion? Yeah, 1 billion. Damn near almost at it needs 300 million to get 2 billion.
Yeah, yeah. I think Disney is gonna push, and James Cameron is gonna push. They're gonna have a re-release this time next year, like they milked to No Way Home. No Way Home, they did like even more webs or even more something. So I feel like they're gonna do a re-release, like, oh, this is a holiday classic, and this is just you want to go to Pandora during the holidays type thing.
Yeah.
They're like that, and have a re-release probably somewhere in the summer, I think, because the new one comes out. When the new one's
I don't even know like 2024, something like
yeah,
that.
so they probably do a re-release this year. Yeah,
Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see. But 3 hours and 12 minutes, man. That was a long ass movie. I'll tell you that. That
Yeah,
was a long ass movie.
I didn't have a complaint with the length. Like long movies don't bother me. Like I
Gotcha.
like to be immersed in different worlds for extended periods of time. That's why I like shows. But I didn't really have a problem with it just because it was like, oh, we're back to Pandora, and you're just taking all of this in. You're looking at your clock, not really looking at your watch or anything. You're just like, oh, I'm in this world, and it's so great to be back, like that type of thing. It feeds into that, and I just think he can't make it a short movie.
Gotcha. Yeah, because there's a whole lot to fill in, and like if you did make something short, it feel like you left something out. So like
Right.
it does make a lot of sense that you kind of mentioned that. But yeah, man. Um, getting into another topic, Ant-Man, bro. Ant-Man got Jonathan Majors, the new GOAT. Seemed like everybody and their mama is talking about Jonathan Majors. Um, they're saying that this new movie is supposed to be an epic sci-fi war film. So I don't know what that really entails, but it sounds pretty badass to me. It sounds like a really big deal. It sounds on par with some of the stuff that we've seen recently. So Infinity War, Endgame. I think we're gonna get a that same level, a movie
Mhm.
that's on that same level. So what do you think about Ant-Man 3, bro?
Okay, so I've been saying Jonathan Majors praises since he
Lovecraft.
in the Five Bloods and then Lovecraft.
Yes, sir.
Bloods,
Yes,
he
sir.
like completely. I was like, so this is who Michael B. Jordan thinks he is.
Exactly. Exactly, bro. It's crazy. No disrespect to Michael B. Jordan, bro, but like Jonathan Majors has more range and can do a lot more than NBJ. I think he just he plays characters that are just a lot different from the regular basic tropes. You know what I'm saying? Like
He's
his
and an artist in the way that Chadwick was, and I would have loved
yup
to see
yup
him like juxtaposed to him and his Black.
yup
I knew that was the direction they were going anyway, because Black Panther was going to be like the real leader of the Avengers. No shade
pretty
to,
much. He
but
was.
so like that would have been great to see him and Kang because they're true artists and they
Oh
work.
man,
But
but
Jonathan is a beast on screen. He's
bro,
his
he's carrying the torch. He's literally carrying the torch from Chadwick, bro.
making people interested in Ant Man.
He
Nobody
is.
Ant-Man if Jonathan Majors wasn't Kang and if Kang wasn't in the film at all. Nobody would have interest because Ant-Man and the Wasp, even though that it was a step up from the original, well, maybe it wasn't. I think the original still holds a lot of heart and has a lot of fun. The second one was like, it was only important because they introduced the quantum realm and
Yeah.
they try to keep it alive with introducing these crucial story points. But I think it is going to be good. I was a little worried that I hope Peyton Reed doesn't waste his character. Um,
Mm,
he was fiending to have something in Marvel that was worth it. He was quoted saying that he was tired of being the palate cleanser of the MCU phases because in that
gotcha.
where you typically on the back end and didn't really
That's
hold
right.
weight. So he was like, I want my MCU moment, and he feels like he got it because he also was up to he pitched Disney to do Fantastic Four, but
That's right.
they went another way. So this is like his moment. This is his time to show us that
It really is, man.
the
It
first two
really is.
flops and that this one is good. But I think Jonathan is gonna take it to the next level, and he has the range to portray this character because this character is many different things. Like in Loki, he was quirky and kind of goofy and had these different things going on, like a nuance. More like he gave me like serial killer vibes, and then
Facts.
this one he gives me more tyrannical ruler, master genius vibes. And I think as we build and grow on this character, we're gonna see Jonathan do so many more things. My only concern is for at least this besides Peyton Reed's writing is Paul Rudd. I love Paul Rudd, but dramatically, are these people gonna be able to, tango with Jonathan?
Yeah, with someone who's critically acclaimed. So like it is kind of weird to have like Paul Rudd, who's like this comedy guy, and then Jonathan Majors, who's very dramatic. So like those are two very different, personalities on the screen. But I think it's all gonna balance it out, man. I hope that they don't do the comedic approach that they did in Thor, because that was a little bit offsetting. But I think this movie will work for sure, man. I think we're gonna see a different version of Scott Lang, and we're not gonna see one that we're used to. Like he's gonna be a lot more serious. He's gonna have the stakes are gonna be up. Like the stakes are gonna be a lot higher,
Also,
and he's gonna risk it, man. If he does, the character does die. Maybe we're introduced to another character in another universe, or if Kang, of course, people are saying Kang may die. We're gonna be introduced to him again. So like we're gonna see multiple Kangs. Because if you've seen Loki, did you watch Loki, like the actual
yeah,
series?
yeah.
Yeah, if you've seen that series, um, he who remains, um, yeah, he was killed by Sophie. So that whole catalyst that she caused is gonna cause the Kang dynasty and the Kang War and everything. So like that is the perfect intro to this next Avengers film. So we'll see how it goes, man. I don't think this movie will be bad at all. It comes out February 17th. So like that's like right around the corner.
Yeah.
That's literally right around the corner. That's nothing. That's a whole month from now.
Right. And also, I mean, I understand from a story point, but I'm just like, why does Ant-Man, why does Scott Lang, I guess because this is his last thing in his trilogy, I'm like, why does he get Kang? You know what I'm saying? Like, my thing was like, Ant-Man gets Kang?
I'm saying, I
What?
feel because you would think that MODOK would be a better villain, or like someone that's kind of weird and like quirky and like obscure, instead of a character that's very dramatic. And usually like the Avengers have to go up against a character that's that powerful. So I think they got a good story on their hands. It's interesting because it seems like it's a weird film to make in the first place,
Yeah.
but maybe they have something up their sleeve. I think Peyton Reed is a good director. I think he's talented. I like the first Ant-Man. I like the second one. I like the first one more than anything else. But yeah, maybe he does something new, because the first two were heist films. This one, it's like a multiversal like clash, and when you do that, I'm hoping that this could be one of those movies to end that whole era, because the MCU is more like, we're doing time travel, we're doing multiverses, we're doing this and that, and I think you got to put a close to that eventually, and it needs to stop maybe at Secret Wars, and that's it. Just stop it at that.
Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but I also feel that it's basically the premise I heard was that it was a multiversal heist. Like it's still gonna have that heist flavor, but it's multiversal. Like Kang, like we have saw the trailer, like Kang is asking Scott to get something for him, and if he can, then but he doesn't really have a choice because he's holding Cassie hostage or something like that. I'm just like, okay, well, thanks for not really switching it up. You're giving us what we're used to, but a bigger scale. But yeah, and with Kang's character, if you're a comic reader, then you know that Reed Richards, that Kang is a descendant of Reed Richards.
Of course.
So I'm hoping for a Black Reed Richards.
We'll see
Just
if it happens.
to make sense. I heard they were eyeing some different younger, newer black men talent, and that makes me excited because I love the Fantastic Four. Definitely one of the characters. So I would love for them to because
I feel you.
Daniel Richard at home, well,
Dude.
Daniel Richard, but to see
Oh yeah.
that with Fantastic Four. So they moved that date back a million times. They haven't announced anything. I'm like, what's going on with Fantastic Four? Are we supposed to get that in 25,
I'm
26?
saying, but I mean, I feel like it's kind of fitting, man. You gotta take your time with it, man. You don't want to rush it, and if you do shoehorn them in and kind of just like force it, it kind of does them a disservice because they're a big group, man. Like that's a really big group. Like back in the day, Fantastic Four was like it was X-Men, it was Hulk, it was Spider-Man, it was like the Wolverine and all that stuff, and then of course it was Fantastic Four. So like you got to do it justice, and you got to take your time with it, man. So like if you don't, it's gonna bomb. So I think take your time with it. Um, it's a franchise that's had a lot of great comics behind it and a lot of good characters, and Doom and all those characters are tied to the Fantastic Four. So you really do have to be like these are precious characters. You really do have to take your time. But we'll see, man. We'll see. It's only a matter of like what Marvel says. Eventually they'll release the names, but I've heard like Adam Driver, who played Kylo Ren, is supposed to be, Reed Richards. I've heard Penn Bagley from You. I've heard a bunch of different names, and there's like a whole race of people that are kind of in the race to do it. But um, I mean, I'm cool. I'm cool with anybody being Reed Richards if they can capture the personality of him.
Right. Yeah.
It's more about the personality. It's not necessarily about the looks. So yeah, that's kind of how I work, man. But another thing, dude, Last of Us. I've heard nothing but good about the Last of Us series, man. How do you feel? I'm liking it. I like Pedro Pascal. He's the man. He's the coolest man on the planet. Bella Ramsey, she was in Game of Thrones. There's so many people who are behind that series, man, and they're talented and they know what they're talking about. So I think this may be HBO's big break. This may be their classic, their Emmy Award winning show. So what do you think about Last of Us, man?
Well, I feel like HBO is just known for producing content like that.
Facts.
Two Golden Globe winning shows this year, White Lotus and House of Dragons.
True.
Last of Us, I think definitely go it treading in a. I never played the games, so I don't really know like what the
I
premise
did.
is about. But
I
um,
did.
I have a lot of confidence and faith, especially in Pedro Pascal. He's like he's a chameleon. He's an actor's actor.
Oh yeah. He's
He
been in
is
so many projects, man.
he is unlike like when you go see an actor, you know what you're gonna sometimes you know what you're gonna get, like Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, that whole discourse, like you'll know what you're gonna get. You're going for their personality. But Pedro, you're going to see that story come alive through him. And like Jonathan, like Viola, like like the Angela Bassett's, like the Chadwick Bosemans, the artist, the Samuel Jacksons, the Denzels, the
Oh
artist.
yeah.
So, and he's an artist. So I'm
He's a
excited.
gem, man. He's a gem. Like you can't replace an actor like this. And once you have a guy like that sign on to your project, you're solidified. You're good. He's a good actor, man. And also Bella Ramsey, man. I feel like she's been getting a bad rep just because like people are saying she doesn't look like Ellie or anything because she's the main female protagonist. Um, I say fuck that to all the noise, man. Like she is a good actor. From what I've heard, I haven't seen House of the Dragons. I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but from what I've heard, she's a good actor and she's young too, so like she can play that character to like her best of her ability. So I think people are forgetting yet she is in Game of Thrones. So like if you're that young and you're doing that well, she's gonna deliver. And then
And,
you also if you have a good writer, because the
right.
guy who's writing Last of Us, is the guy who did the game. So he's co-writing, but it's also the guy that did Chernobyl, which is a HBO series that got an Emmy. So like if you have an Emmy award winning writer, two great actors, like bro, you're good. How you doing, Tyler? What's up, my boy? I've
My
been
thing
doing good, man.
with The Last of Us and Bella Ramsey is that in Game of Thrones, she car- she's she carried, the scene
Really?
in. Like she was in a room with with Kit Harington, with Sophie Turner, with Mace,
Damn.
with all these, Game of Thrones giants, and she
Legends.
there as like a newcomer, and like she stunned everybody when she made a lasting impression on me from her performance. So I'm excited to see this. see her in Last of Us. I think that she'll do very well. I have no like it's projecting and trending to be very good. As
Dude,
my early reviews.
dude, like even the early reviews, every single one I saw seemed to be really good. 98%, bro. 98% for like I think it was like 16 reviews. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. It might be a lot more. But if you have that many reviews that are good and it's on Rotten Tomatoes, man, you did something right. You did something right. And I think yeah, man, I think we're in for a treat. We're in for a freaking treat. Every single review that I'm reading right now, solid, solid, solid. It's they're all tomatoes. You know how crazy that is, bro? That's wild. Look at this. Tomatoes. Tomato like bro. And there's pages of it. So like over 100 people have saw it and it's good. And it's good. Like this could be on the same level as, The Walking Dead. And I never watched The Walking Dead, but a lot of people seem to love that show. A lot of people seem to like it. So I've had like people tell me who saw it in the premiere and everything, like they're saying it's good. Like you can't beat this, man. You can't beat this, and it's really exciting for someone that played the games. This is exciting. It means it does it justice, and
Right.
there may be some things that are changed, but that really doesn't matter. What matters most is the storytelling. Like we've had plenty of games that have been, turned into movies, and they are not the same. But if you're giving us something new and it's good, I can't complain about it. I'm not going to.
I feel like the big thing for adaptations is that they capture the essence, the spirit, and the energy
Exactly.
of what they're adapting. And if they can do that, then they can change, a myriad of things as long as, it still carries that weight. And I feel like, what was one that came out recently? Uncharted.
Yeah.
I have complaints with Uncharted, but what people were saying was that it just did not, have that same feel. And, I love Tom Holland, but I feel like he might have been, miscast. You
Yeah.
know, he just
Um.
doesn't give off that rugged adventurer type. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. And what's funny about this, man? The movie was supposed to be made with Mark Wahlberg, but that was like 10 years ago.
okay,
So yeah, so it's supposed to be made with him, but like I guess the project never fell through. So they were like, "Yo, you're casted in it." They called him up. You're casted in it, and they didn't tell him that he would be Sully. So like they didn't tell him he'd be the older character that's in that movie. And it was just like, what the fuck? Tom Holland's in the movie, and it threw me for a loop. It's just like, what are you doing? Are you going for something younger? And that's what they're doing. But it's like, huh, interesting. You want someone that's well established. It'd be like doing a Indiana Jones series, but like it's him when he's a kid. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me personally, for someone that's been tied to the games for so long.
right, yeah,
Like some people may have a connection to Mortal Kombat, but like when they see the movie, they're like, "Bro, this is trash. Like this is nothing like I've seen before. Like it's taking a risk. It's doing something new, but it's just why do that when you could just do the same thing that's already been done?"
right.
And I think they're doing justice with this show, man. And I hope that I love this. I hope that I love this. I heard that they're trying to ground it in reality. So The Last of Us is supposed to be based on like actual science and everything. And like if that's the case, man, then like they're actually doing the work.
Yeah,
So can't wait. Comes out, I think it comes out Sunday. Is it
yeah,
Sunday? Yeah, it comes out Sunday, man. I'll keep you posted, man. When I see that joint, I'm gonna let you know. I'll let
yeah,
you know if it's good. About to be fire.
yeah. I'll be watching, so we can chat about it. Go back
Oh,
and
for
forth.
sure. For sure, bro. But another thing, man, we got a couple more topics. It's just literally two more. Ezra Miller, should he be fired or should he be hired? Should he continue in the DCEU?
I think that if that was an actor of color, he'd be fired absolutely, and
For sure.
I just don't think that his brand is salvageable,
You
and
can't.
and I don't think he was a good Flash to begin with. I never saw what they saw when they casted him to begin with. Grant Gustin has more fans than I think Ezra Miller does right now.
Oh, for sure.
Don't see the appeal of Ezra Miller because he was not a great focal. I think they tried to lean into like quirky Barry,
Yeah.
which I've always felt the Flash as a more like cool character who happened to be smart. Not like a OC nerdy can't talk to girls type of character.
Yeah. And
So
he's not really like that in the show. Like in the 10, and I've only watched up to season 5 in the show, and he's not really like a goofy guy. Like
right,
he's very charismatic. He's he's the man, bro. Like he has the girl.
yeah, the
Like you can't really like I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of I have like this whole perception on what the character's supposed to be because I watched the show and the animated stuff as a kid. But like from what I know, that's not really how he's supposed to be characterized. Like I feel like Zack Snyder, he was definitely a cool director, and he did really good at like making the characters badass. But he really did some of the characters a disservice, cause like he changed and warped them into his own version of them. Like Superman, even if you think it like Superman, he's really not the Superman that we've seen in other movies.
hmm
So it's just kind of it's counterintuitive, man. Like you gotta go for personality. You gotta go for the look of the character too,
oh yeah,
and that's why I feel like if they're gonna do the Flash, man, call up Austin Butler. Austin Butler, he just won a Golden Globe, bro.
yeah,
This man just won a Golden Globe. Get him to do that character, and you already have this relationship with him with the Elvis movie and Warner Bros. Like, why stop that? Continue it. He's talking about Marvel. He's talking about building a relationship with Marvel. You should nab him up ASAP.
yeah,
Grant Gustin's show is already ending. If you want to continue, build a show with him. Do something like that. Like it's just why are you continuing this relationship with someone that's continuously showed us that they're not fit for the job? And that's
right,
what Ezra Miller's continuously done. It's just not it's not conducive to a successful film. You can't go on the press run and go to these film festivals and not have your lead actor at those events. You know how crazy that is, man? Like I've been to a film festival before and they always have the lead actor there. The director will show up if, they want to show up. You'll have at least like a producer or something like that. If you can't have your lead actor there, don't make this movie. And they should have, and I get it, it's a $200 film or $200 million film. That's a lot of money, but you made it. And it's unfortunate. And you have to move forward in that relationship right now. Recast. That's just me.
I think they should put it out, ask him, but still put it out. I feel some people are just craving for a story. But like to your Zack Snyder point, Zack did do wrong about. I loved his version of Wonder Woman that
Okay, yeah.
Patty built on, but then she simultaneously the very next film killed.
Destroyed.
She just
Destroyed. She made Wonder Woman soft.
she
Made her
obliterated
soft.
a poor gal, and gal was confident in it, and just like everyone loved Wonder Woman, the warrior. Wonder Woman, oh, sometimes she's a lover, but she's really a warrior, and that's what people loved about that iteration of her. And Patty just crumpled her down into a sobbing mess that just is too weak to even punch a guy who
I'm
has
saying, bro.
a granting of wishes. That was his ability.
Man. And,
Like,
and of course, I think that's a part of the character. I get that. But at the same time, man, why did you change Cheetah into a wish? Why did you change everything, like the whole essence of these characters, into something that they're not, and then think it was going to be okay? And then you also made Wonder Woman. She made her punk, man. She wasn't no killer. Like in the Snyder cut, she was a killer. In the first one, she was a
yeah,
killer. She was out here like murking folks, man. She was murking folks, bro, and we don't get that in this
Yeah.
next movie. She's more of a pacifist. She's not a war, like you said, a warrior, and that doesn't work for Wonder Woman. It doesn't work for that. Little girls should be able to watch a woman beat the living shit out of Steppenwolf, and I feel like
Right.
that's a really important part of her character, man. She's
Because
not like
Diana,
Superman.
right, but think Diana was alive on Themyscira for
Thank God.
probably been in that world. So you think she would change that fundamentally, like that warrior spirit would just go away in what,
In the
70?
80s.
Yeah, it was 14, 17, around that time was World War One. Then 70 years later, she just mushed up.
Yeah, it doesn't work, man. It doesn't work. And Patty Jenkins is a good director. I think the first film was great, even though it was co-written by Snyder and a couple other people. I think it still worked.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the best DCU films ever made. It's in my top five. It might be in my top five actually. I mean, because like, what do you really have? You have the Dark Knight series. You have Joker. All those films. This movie's pretty good. It's
I
pretty
don't.
damn good.
I count like DCEU proper, and then I count the Dark Knight series. Then you have
As
like
its own thing. As
Batman,
its own thing.
Batman standalone as like their,
Gotcha.
and then I rank like Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. I think that's all we got.
Yeah,
Shazam.
man. Yeah,
It's
Shazam is good. Shazam is good. Joker's great. But like I'm talking about like in terms of like the DCU films
oh
in
right, yeah.
general, like the DC films entirely.
Uh-huh.
Those are the ones that really stick out to me. Um, you got a whole list of films that are coming out, man, and we're just kind of worried as if they're gonna be good or not.
Yeah,
Aquaman is coming out, Shazam, all that stuff. We hope we can only hope that this is a good project, man. But we'll have to see, bro. Um, but yeah, it is what it is, man. Ezra Miller is a criminal. Um,
I don't know.
I'm sorry. That's just a fact. That's just facts. If
So
this were Will Smith, if this were Will Smith or anybody else, bro, we wouldn't be having this conversation. This movie would have been over. They would have shelved it, threw it out the door.
they would have hung Will Smith from the rafters if
Of course,
he had a white lady and her kids up in Vermont or something like.
bruh,
You
ain't
can
happening.
see
It
that.
ain't happening.
That's just like not gonna happen. The authorities are gonna be at the door. It's just like nah.
Yeah,
As,
it's not happening.
and there's many run-ins with the police officers operated from his place of privilege and wealth. And Will Smith just has the wealth and the name recognition.
Of course,
But that
but
void.
it is what it is, man. Like, there's not much we could do about it. I wish Warner Bros. Would make that right decision, but it's gonna blow up in their face. And some people have to
Yeah.
learn the hard way. But it is what it is, man. But yeah, thoughts on the lastly, thoughts on the Golden Globes. You have a bunch of black people winning, which
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of. Obviously Quinta Brunson, Tyler James Williams with the show. Um, what's that show? Abbott Elementary. Great show. I gotta finish season 2. You have Angela Bassett winning for the first actor in the MCU. Um, and yeah, best supporting actress. So that was great. I really love that, 30 years later. It's crazy, man. 30 years later, she don't come back and she don't put on for Marvel, man. Like really, like that's a big win. That's a big win for, Marvel. It's a big win for Disney, and it's also a big win for black folk, which is
Yeah.
crazy. I love it, man. Last time she don't went, she was damn near like what 30. So it's kind of crazy. She's like 64 now, man, and
Yeah.
she's really made a legacy for Hollywood.
Yeah. And I love that that moment came for Marvel and it came for her through this film. And it's through Ryan Coogler's script. And it's just through these avenues that it needed to be in to say, just to build on, Marvel's gotten better with, the diverse range of storytelling and storytellers. I think, what was it, like 4 or 5 years ago, Anthony Mackie was talking and saying why am I like the only black person on this set? Everybody's behind the cameras, every his co-stars, and he's like, lowly Falcon. But now it's getting so much better, especially with Captain America 4 coming out.
Absolutely.
You got all these different characters. Ryan Coogler is cemented as, a great talent. He was ever since I saw
Oh
Fruitvale.
yeah.
And then he
Oh
did
dude,
Free.
Fruitvale. I've only watched that movie one time in my
You can
lifetime. Never gonna watch it again.
you can only watch it once.
Never gonna
So
watch it again.
cemented as like a Marvel great. Just like when you think of Marvel and you think of directors, you think Russo brothers, Ryan Coogler.
Oh yeah,
Those be
for
like
sure, for
should be.
sure, bro.
I want him to get Kang Dynasty because I felt like him working with Jonathan would have been amazing. But
Oh yeah,
Dan got it, who does Shang-Chi, so I'm not worried about.
he still got Secret Wars though. He still got Secret
I
Wars. So
Wars,
if that's up for grabs, he may get it. You never know. But yeah, man. I kind of just wanted to talk about that before we close. Um, my bad. I interrupted you. What were you gonna say? My fault.
yeah, but more with the awards. I watched the whole show. So I love award season. It's a rare time in Hollywood where you get to see hard work rewarded or nepotism work awarded.
I'm
Um
saying.
Fableman's won best
I'm not
picture.
surprised, man. It's Steven Spielberg. Like he's got a grip on Hollywood, man. Like he's the man. He's the Michael Jordan of Hollywood.
But like when you see the nominees, and the Fablemans to me is the least interesting one out of them all because it's basically an autobiographical work with these superstars that he casted, these great actors that he casted. But it's basically, I think Hollywood was like, this is one of our greatest directors' life work in front of us, and we have to give this. And I was just like,
Yeah. It's like kind of like how LeBron is kind of being praised for his last. I mean, he's older now, but like he's still being praised for, a decent season, even though the Lakers aren't doing that well. It's kind of like that. But
he's gonna collapse because he's LeBron, and Steven
yeah.
still getting the work award because of Steven Spielberg. If a smaller director did the exact same film, I don't think it would have gotten the same,
Oh yeah.
treatment, especially by the awards. But House of Dragons won. White Lotus won. Jennifer Coolidge won, which I thought was
Yeah,
great.
which is crazy, man. Ryan, I think Ryan Murphy got like a what was it, like a lifetime achievement award or something like
Yeah.
that.
And
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was behind Glee. I grew up a Glee kid, and I loved Glee, and I like a lot of Ryan work. So I was like, okay, he deserved that Golden Globe. I didn't know he was
for
behind
sure,
stuff.
for sure, for sure.
People opportunities to create and be the star and do different things. I didn't really care for the Dahmer win. I thought that was like, okay.
Yeah, bro. Here's the thing. I was just about to talk about that, but I'm we got like a couple minutes left, man. But yeah, with the Dahmer thing, man, like the family of the victims, and Raymond, we can meet up some other time, man. We'll talk about The Last of Us when it comes out on Sunday. It's just kind of us two talking about some stuff. But uh, how I feel about this show, man, I just feel like it kind of did the family members a disservice, because now I have to relive um, the trauma of losing family members, like that's so unfortunate. And then it's like a popular thing now. You have people simping over murderers and
Yeah.
serial killers. Like that's crazy, bro. That's some crazy stuff. Like I don't like that. That's weird. That's
And I
weird.
feel like even though they tried to come at it with an angle of like, oh, we're trying to bring awareness and honor the thing,
No,
I was like, I just don't see how there's any way you could do that respectfully. Like,
you
okay, I get
can't.
art, the artistic stuff, but he was really sick. Like, this was like, and then Evan Peters got an award for portraying a very, very sick and demented human being. Like, they were
I never watched it.
the Hollywood Foreign Press. Oh, I watched it. I was deeply disturbed. I had to pause the first episode like 5 times
I
and
can't do it.
that
Can't
bad.
do it.
And I was just like, this is what Hollywood budgets are going to. Like Ryan Murphy sat down and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna create a Netflix series about Jeffrey Dahmer, and we're gonna basically say it was because his privilege, and you know how he got away with it." But like, oh gosh, like I couldn't imagine being like some of these victims' families and saying like, "Oh, that was Uncle Whatever," and like being a
Yeah,
having a
it's
wife.
kind of messed up, man. And
Yeah, for human consumption. Like,
oh yeah, man. But it is what it is, man. It's unfortunate. I've heard rumors of them trying to do like a serial killer universe, which is crazy. That's a wild concept. Like you're trying to do a universe based on these monsters in society, and it don't work for me. I'm not watching that. I'm
yeah,
not entertaining it. I'm not gonna watch it, and I don't feel like it deserves my money. So that's why I never even touched the series. I never even touched it, man. It's just a gross concept, man. It's like you're just making money off of something. You're not really giving anything to the victims. So like my thing, if they would have done something for the victims, like I would have probably been okay with it, but I still wouldn't have watched it. But yeah, just I don't know.
if it was a
That's
documentary and really an assessment of what happened, then okay. But it wasn't that. It was a dramatic retelling, as if this was an awesome event in history,
same,
which which I under like now you could say on the other side the Central Park Five, which I feel like that was something totally different, but
man.
I tried to come at it a different way, and but I just don't feel like that should have.
But the difference between that one, man, you had the actual victims produce that show.
Right? Yeah,
So and then they also had a documentary, I think, on Netflix as well. Like they had the series, they had the documentary, they had some YouTube stuff. They were talking to Oprah. Like they brought awareness to the situation by bringing the victims in, and that was really important. It wasn't just a show that was there to capitalize off of these stories, and yeah, that's the whole difference. That's what you need to do when you're making these projects. Obviously, it's not about the money. It's not about just giving people a chunk of money to make a project and talk about the killer's life. But I think it's more or less about the experience and the things that have happened to them and how they're dealing with them right now. So
right. Yeah,
that's essential. That's essential for these people's lives, man. That's how they move forward. And so I feel like that was a big part of it. That's why it was so different. But
very
I'm
valid.
still not gonna watch it. Evan Peters is a great actor, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
Um, I've seen like his stuff in X-Men and stuff like that. He's still very good. I'll watch him in other stuff, but I won't watch him in this. But that's just me. Um, but yeah, coming to a close. All that stuff. Jared Carmichael, Eddie Murphy. A lot of good stuff happened on the Golden Globes, man. You had Michelle Yeoh who won. Yeah,
yeah.
Ki Hoi Kwan who won a Golden Globe and got his first role in 30 years, which is
I
crazy.
filmed 3 times in theaters because I just thought I love A24 as a studio by
Me
itself,
too.
and then that movie to come out of A24. A24 is more known for like the weirder concepts. Like
Yeah,
they'll
like
make
obscure kind of like horror thriller type stuff.
yeah, small directors obscure, but also great quality films. Definitely always up for Oscar, typical Oscar bait. But this one was just different. I felt like the story and everything, like they deserved all the awards. And if Angela Bassett wasn't up for Black Panther, I would have wanted the daughter um
As a supporting.
in supporting because she did her thing. But
What's her
Auntie,
name? Catherine Sue.
yeah, I
I
think so.
think so.
But Auntie was up for the award, so I can't,
Hey man, I
Or
think usually the Golden Globes are pretty accurate, but you never know. She might not win an Oscar.
I think to not honor Angela Bassett's career in such a monumental role and where she's been literally quoted, reposted as the performance of the year, and to not give that to her is a slap in the face like they did with Chadwick. I wouldn't be
Yep.
surprised if they win it, but to not honor her like they failed to honor Chadwick with
I'm
the,
saying.
I think that they're really gonna have to wrestle with that. Like, how can we not honor her? And then you're just gonna give it to a generic, not for lack of a better word, but some of these white actresses' performances that I feel like are interchangeable.
Yeah, like they're not really remarkable or anything, but I think people forget it's not really our award show.
Very
Um, as much as we would love to be like feel welcome, we know we don't really belong there.
right,
So like that's why I feel like it's important that we praise shows like the Image Awards and the BET Awards and stuff like that, because these are celebrations within our culture. These are
right,
celebrations within our people and everything, and we don't talk about it because we just don't see the validity in these award shows and everything that they do. But I feel like as creators, um, we need to do that. We need to talk about who we want to win and who should be getting the recognition and everything, because it's we're the gatekeepers, man. As the audience, we're the gatekeepers as to what comes out. And I'm definitely going to post a lot more content and everything in the next couple months and everything. So you'll see me posting stuff on the NAACP awards, and we'll see how it goes, man. But honestly, Oscars are cool. I'm not gonna lie. We would love to see our favorite actors in general, get Oscars, but I think it's sometimes it doesn't go our way. So
yeah.
it is.
I feel like because of how the country is set up and how the academy is set up and things like that,
Of
and
course,
what they try to preach, that they honor great work. And not for to say the NAACP awards. I love watching the Image Awards every year. They do great stuff, and our people are honored, and the work is honored. But when you have films like Parasite, and you have other like Moonlight one, and they're starting to honor great work more from a diverse range. So I would just like to see them actually, you know, honor great work.
oh for
And
sure,
Angela Bassett's performance as Queen Ramonda and giving those lines, no actress has given a performance carrying that much weight and brevity. There was so much behind it that it was very real. And as actors and actresses don't get the opportunity to channel that much emotion and really just display that on screen all the time. Like,
bro.
and it was very public. Chadwick's passing was very public, and he was very admired. So just the circumstances as to which we got here, to the role, to the emotion, the moment, everything. He just had, you can't ignore it. And I just
Of
don't,
course not,
I hope they don't. I hope
dude.
they do, hey.
Just bro, imagine it. Angela Bassett, first Oscar. You know how wild that'd be? That
She
sounds really good.
she should have won for What's Love Got to Do with It. Like she did the Golden Globe.
Yeah, she won the Golden Globe, but she didn't win the Oscar.
Yeah.
But we'll see, man.
Yep.
I think it's coming. I think it's coming right around the corner. And when it does, man, I'm gonna be talking about it every day, bro. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything I wanted to talk about. Dude, if you want to meet next week, let me know. We can talk about a couple things that have happened in the next week, whether it pertains to social media or like pop culture, whatever it is, man. But
Yeah. Down, bro.
really appreciate you coming on, man. I'm gonna turn this into a podcast thing, man. I'm Justin, you're Justin, so like it's perfect, man. It's
Yep.
perfect. We already got the things worked out. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you hooking up with me. I appreciate that, dog.
No problem, buddy.
Anyways, man, but I'll see you later. Let's see if we can get together. And actually, Last of Us, man, I'd like to see your opinion. So just let me know.
Yeah, I got you, man. Yeah.
Appreciate that, dog. But I'll see you later, man. You have
Yeah.
a good one.
All right, man.
All y'all have a good one. Enjoy your time. Enjoy the weekend. Peace out. Deuces, man.